What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Took off for a while to let that election kind of digest. I think empathy was a big factor, and decorum, ultimately. Anyway, back to the food. We're doing what Wedding Crashers made so popular once again, the meatloaf. Ma! We want it! So let's make it. I'm doing ground chuck. I got 1.5 pounds here. And I'm going to do, I thought about doing a bacon wrapped one, but something a little bit different. I'm going with a cheddar jalapeno mix. So I got 2 diced jalapenos and about 3/4 cup of cheddar I'm going to use. I got 2 eggs to act as the binder, and I got some dry spices. So I got a mix of 1 teaspoon salt and a 1/2 teaspoon each of basil, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. So we got that and this. So I got a meatloaf tray pan I greased with oil. We're going to be doing this for about 1:15 at 350. And I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to do a glaze on top, little mix there. The other thing, you could use breadcrumbs as a binder or some bread. I got 2 slices of bread that I've taken the crust off. Just going to give this like a rustic chop, almost as if you were making like homemade croutons. And we'll mix that in. So, you know, just about that big. So, just going to mix this all up, and then I will incorporate it into the pan. So, you know, just kind of get in there with your hands, or you might need a spoon. We'll work that in, and then we'll mold it into the pan, and then it'll go to the oven. So I'm going to wash up. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Alright, so we're back and we're ready to create the loaf. Hopefully it's as good as the one that Chaz Reinhold's mom makes, but we'll have to wait and see. So, got the giant ball of meat. Just gonna work it into here. So this meatloaf tray, it's like the bottom will catch some of the grease, so you take it out and it's all there set for you. So just kind of keep it, pack it down, and make it even as best you can. You need a spoon, that will help. And then we'll throw it in the oven, and again, I'm going to do it about 70 to 75 minutes, and the last, say, half hour, I'm going to put the glaze on top. So we'll be back for that. So again, this one's pretty rustic. You can see the little green, that's the chunks of pepper. We got the cheese in there, so something a little bit different. So right now it's just going to be a set it and forget it for a little while we wait and do the glaze. So real quick, many people saw Alex Trebek passed away sadly yesterday. Everyone's saying stuff, but real quick, I'll say it. I grew up on Jeopardy, especially from my grandma Hindley. I'm kind of making this tonight in part because that's the kind of dinner she would like to eat. She always called it, she didn't say we're watching Jeopardy. When she watched my sister and I, she'd say, we're watching Alex. And that was the thing. And it was cool, like grandparents let you do stuff your parents don't. So when we were really young, no TV during dinner. And my grandmom's watching us, and all of a sudden we're eating pizza, and she's like, "Oh snap, what time is it? Is it 7? Grab your pizza, we're going to watch Alex." I looked at my sister like, "Oh, we're not supposed to do that." And she's like, "Maddie, that's the fun part about hanging out with your grandma." So I'll miss Alex. I heard he's going to be running shows that were pre-recorded up and through Christmas Day, but man, it won't be the same. But in any event, we'll miss him, and we'll be back in a while to do this glaze. Peace. We're back, and we're going to do this little topper. So, ketchup, mustard, and brown sugar. So, you get about maybe 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, maybe a 1/4 cup of ketchup. This is very inexact, this part, and mustard. Just going to mix this up. And then I will just spread it on top of the meatloaf. This part's optional. I think if you're not doing a gravy, which I'm not doing, you know, if you're making this with like mashed potatoes, I think a lot of you would just do it with the brown gravy, and that would be perfect. But without having that, I think you need the glaze. I'm just doing some leftover mac and cheese and maybe some arugula or something, because I didn't really think about the other stuff. So just work it in, looking pretty good. So ever so briefly, I will take this out. And you can see it's starting to come together. So just going to pour this over the top. Just kind of spread it all over. And back in the oven it will go for the remaining 35 minutes or so. There we go. So the other thing I'll let you guys know, once you take this out of the oven, once it's done, I would let it rest for about 10 or 12 minutes before you slice it. So there it is with our glaze. So put this back in. I'll be back to show you the finished product when we're done. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're back. Let this thing rest for about 10-12 minutes. Looking pretty good with that glaze. So ideally I'd have more people here, but with COVID, you know, it's just me. But you could freeze this. You can make like a sandwich with it the next day with like some tomato, Texas toast, something like that. So this is looking pretty good. Kind of get the other plate over here and slide it over. It's not a bad system. So cheddar jalapeno meatloaf. I hope worthy of getting the stamp of approval from Chaz Reinhold, who is not a kook, he's a pioneer. Here we go, everything's falling off the plate, there's too much goodness here. But there we are, good to be back. Hope to have more crock pot, fall type stuff as we get into the holiday season. So everybody be good, see you next time.